See, this ain't for the kids. I don't know what to tell you. This one for y'all. Whoa! Boom! Yo, what's shaking, everybody? Welcome to the playground. Let's talk some music with my man's Keanu in the fucking building. So, first question gotta be is how you started doing this music shit. Cause I knew Keanu for a little minute and everything, but I never really asked you how you really got started with this music stuff.
That's crazy. I've been doing this shit since like 6th grade, bro.
What?
For real, like
Right.
I was artist first, like just doing like the artist shit.
Right.
I was getting the beats. You know how everybody was getting the beats from like SoundClick.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I don't even think
back.
was it even YouTube for real like that? They wasn't really on YouTube.
To find the beats, yeah, niggas wasn't uploading them like that.
Yeah, it was like SoundClick, or you gotta know somebody who had the beats and shit. So, I wanted like certain type of beats, but I couldn't find them. So I started making my own.
Makes sense.
I think FL Studio was free at the time, so I just downloaded it.
Yeah, demo.
The demo
joint. Yeah.
So I was just playing around with it, and them shits was trash. But I was rapping on them hoes. You feel me? I was just rapping on
whatever. That's that boom bap shit. Whatever. Go ahead. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. So like around that time, like it wasn't like cool to rap like it is now. Niggas wasn't really doing music like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a lot of information on how to record or like how to build a studio or none of that. Like I was just figuring it out, and I was doing it actually a difficult way. Like I would record a voice note or whatever of one rap,
right,
and then I'll punch it in, but I'll like click it in like manually type shit. I didn't use like the Pro Tools type shit.
Oh, he was going, he was on an intricate way.
Yeah. So then as time progressed and I figured out like it was easier ways to do it, more tools, more technology, more equipment.
Right.
I just kept like building and building.
Fire.
And like in school when niggas was like their birthday come around, they get sneakers. I was buying like microphones and shit.
Yeah, that's
like,
the smart thing. Yeah, investing in your career early in the game. Niggas ain't.
Fact. Yeah. So I just been like building ever since then.
That's fire. And now you at a place where obviously you done grow. I was gonna say growed. You done, all your growth done took place within all these years since then and everything. And you know what I'm saying. Now you doing your thing. You know what I mean, charting shit, making shit happen. And I see you making good connections to a point where you able to, you know what I mean, take your passion and your talent and everything and be able to disperse it with the people amongst you.
For sure.
And I love to see the progression, and I wanted to know, like, what's your favorite song that you ever made? Not beat, we're gonna go to beat next, but what's your favorite song that you ever made?
My favorite song is probably Bag. Bag featuring Chinese Kitty.
Fire. Yeah, that shit was hard.
We shot the video with Peter. He's a fire director. I think he did Bodak Yellow for Cardi out in Dubai.
Right.
And his like
shout out
aesthetic was just crazy. So he did that video for me. We did it at the Art Factory in Patterson. Shit came out
classic. That's a classic location too.
Yeah.
Classic. Like, I bet. So what's your favorite beat that you ever made for any artist or for yourself?
My favorite beat.
You got some fire.
See, I got some shit that's unreleased that's fire that I did for Partisan Fontaine.
Okay.
He got Favi on it.
Fire.
Shit's so crazy, bro.
It'd be like the later you be in your like the latest beats, you probably be feeling like be like the better ones because you would just be tired of the old ones already, even though they fire still.
See, I'll be overplaying shit to the point where I'll be like, by the time I come out, I don't even want to hear that shit no more.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. It'd be like that, especially with the music and shit too. I bet. So now, when it comes to you recording and everything, like on the artist end, like what's your process as far as recording?
Normally it's most likely my beat, so I make the beat. I instantly got an idea, so I just load it up.
Right.
I go do like a melody, because like a lot of my shit is like melodic, melody driven. So I think in the melody before the concept of the words every time.
Of course.
I do a melody. I might just hum through the whole shit. And then I might hum something like a word that triggered me to think of a topic.
Right.
Then I'll go lay that idea down, and then I punch by punch. I don't write nothing down. Like I do line by line and just keep going to the whole song.
Let that shit flow.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a fact. I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy because I be doing the same shit, and it's like obviously, you know, it seemed like a lot of artists is, you know what I mean, done adapted to that vibe and shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, that also comes from a point in time where we wasn't able to have our own shit in our own cribs, and now we can. So now it's more or like or have access to the studio on a regular basis, or whatever the situation is. But we have more access to technology and shit. So it's like when you in a booth and shit, or you just in the studio and you able to just just freely just record shit on the spot. It'd be no time to even write this shit because it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm already record. Might as well record it. If anything, I just do this shit over and shit. So that's fire.
And I actually got that from when I was in Atlanta. I was working with 808 Mafia. Like it was still early on. I think I was like fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
And we was picking beats, and I picked one, and me and my homie we start writing to it. And they was like, yo, what y'all doing? He was like, we writing to the beat. He's like, why you writing it? When you go in the booth, you already gonna record it. You might as well write as you go. Like you're wasting time. And at the time, I was like, huh? Like what you talking about? I gotta write it.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna say
to get
whatever
my shit going.
Yeah. Right. But then once I start that triggered me. I went home, I started practicing that, and literally the first thing that come to your head is normally the shit that's gonna stick.
Yeah,
because it's like that's what resonates
naturally.
Exactly. You know
and that's the main word, natural. I ain't gonna front it be like that. Like once you just got that vibe, it'd be the worst. Like you ever had a time where you just like traveling, you doing whatever beat, you listen to a beat or beat playing shit or whatever the case is, and you fake want to fuck with the beat, and at the time you came up with a crazy melody, but you did not put this shit down. You ain't voice record this shit or nothing. You be like, son, I can't never get that shit.
I can't write to a beat unless I'm in a booth, because if I think of a fire melody and I'm at the crib, I'm not gonna remember.
He already know, like he already. So you don't do the voice note thing at all?
I don't even listen to the beat. I don't even want to hear it.
You don't even fuck around.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't gonna front the best vibe sometimes is just being in the stool, just letting that shit rock out and just, you know what I mean, doing it on the spot and shit.
I wanted to tap back into something that you had said a few minutes ago, in reference to like when you got bread, you went and invested in equipment.
Yeah.
And nowadays, how time has changed, so many things and so much equipment and technology is now accessible. Have you noticed, how has that affected your career? And have you noticed the, progression in easily accessible equipment? So this is a question for all these people that are trying to get to a position where you are.
Yeah.
Literally right now there's no excuse, but what is the differences from when you started to now that you're seeing?
Yeah, when I started, it was a lot more difficult, a lot more pieces to the puzzle. Like I had to have, first of all, I had like a desktop computer. Then you got to get a microphone. Then you got to get the wires for the microphone. Then you got to have something to power the microphone. Then you need like an interface to plug it into the computer. Now you can go on Amazon, get you a USB microphone, one wire. You could be in a hotel room, $100. Record a whole song.
So it's actually made it easier. So there's literally no excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as far as dealing with people, as far as in the industry and in that business, have you noticed it's been hard for you to try and get information out of people, or you had to learn the hard way?
I had to learn the hard way, but I feel like now it's easier to get information because, like, I don't know, I always felt like people had like a chip on their shoulder, like it took me all this to figure this out, so now you gonna have to figure that out too.
Shit, yeah.
But now you can't really control it. Like if you don't tell me, I'm gonna just go on YouTube and figure it out anyway.
Yeah.
So it ain't really no holding the info. Like you could, anything you need to know, you could figure it out with the click of a button. Like it don't matter.
It's crazy you say that. I was watching a podcast and shit like that, and the shorty on the nigga on the podcast, he was saying to shorty like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, pretty much asking like, you know what I mean, what you been through and shit. She was like, I've been through a lot, whatever. Well, you know what I mean? Tell niggas, give niggas a game. Like, what you been through? What can you teach these people? She was like, nah, like, game ain't free and shit. Niggas like, game ain't free. Like, niggas think, niggas giving out information left and right. Like,
I feel that's a problem amongst us, man, because, you know what I'm saying? We be go through so much shit. And a lot of times it get canceled out of you just, yo, bro, you don't have to go through this because
let the nigga know.
You know what I'm saying?
So the nigga on type shit.
Yeah.
Nah, that's
Gary Vee said some shit that was crazy. He was like, the reason why I give out all this information because 99% of y'all is not gonna do what I tell y'all to do anyway. Y'all not gonna listen.
Nah.
I can tell you like what's it gonna take to do this. I'm gonna tell you all the steps. You gonna hear and be like, I ain't trying to do all that shit.
Nah, that's a fact.
You're not gonna do it.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a big fact.
It's a defiant aspect with you. Yeah. Like it's like if I tell you don't do something, you're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Or if
I know you getting that. Yeah. I know you getting that. Nah, that's a fact, bro. And I'm glad that you able to, you know what I'm saying, be in a position to give other people, you know what I'm saying, because it's needed, you know what I'm saying, especially when it's coming from somebody that's you know what I mean, that's cool like you, like, you know what I'm saying, like you a dope spirit and shit like that, you know what I'm saying, like I got the vibe with homie and it never really changed. Like he always, you know what I mean, who he is and shit like that, you know what I'm saying, like. And
I think that sometimes come with just knowing it's enough success to go around. Like by me telling you what I did to get where I'm at, it's not gonna stop me from continuing to get where I'm at. Like some people got that mindset of scarcity. Like if I tell you, you're gonna take my spot, and it's just it ain't
grabbing
like
the barrel shit. That shit.
It don't work like that. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, that's the one thing I be thinking about too. It'd be like that. That's another thing. It's like when niggas be wanting like a plug or a connect and shit like that. I literally just be giving that shit. Yeah, hold on. Now, don't get me wrong. There's be situations where, and I'm assuming this connect somehow, some way. But obviously, sometimes in between, like it'd be like, all right, but if I give you the connect, then that means I can't make my pieces off of what I would have.
Yeah, you gotta secure your bag first.
Exactly.
Always, yeah.
But yeah, so it's so many, little gray areas with that and shit like that. But yeah, so boom. You in the industry and shit, you making shit happen, then eventually you run into Chinese Kitty. Y'all start working, going crazy. How has that experience been?
It's been great, yo. Like I actually met her in the club. I don't know if you know Twin. You know Twin, the bodyguard. So he's like a celebrity bodyguard. I used to be around him from dealing with other artists, and I was in the studio with you, bro. Actually, it was me, you, Swift, and Jiggy. And Jiggy, I had asked Jiggy. I was like, yo, who's like the baddest girl on Instagram right now? Like, who's the baddest girl? He was like, Chinese Kitty. I never heard of her before ever.
Okay.
So I had followed her, and I seen she had did music, and then I seen literally the next day, Twin had posted her flyer. She was hosting the club, and I'm like, I don't really believe in coincidence. And I'm like, all right, I'm supposed to move on that. So I told him like, let me slide with you. He was like, all right. Slid with him. He introduced me. The next day, she was in my studio in the Art Factory. We was recording.
Like that.
And she had like one song out at the time. One song. So we just did a couple records, and then it got to the point where it was like every studio session I'm there. They like them, and I like to present like a comfortable recording environment, where you feel free to experiment. Yeah. You feel free to like try new shit. Like
it's important.
You know, all we got is time to do all your creative shit right here, because a lot of people go to certain spots and feel like, you know,
pressure.
I gotta do what they want me to do. Do your thing.
Right.
Because that's how I got into my creative bag. Like when I started recording myself, it was nobody there to tell me what to do.
Exactly.
And I realized what freedom came with that. So I try to give that to all my clients. Like, do your thing.
That's a fact.
And then, you know, we started working together. But it was a point in time for like a year where I wasn't around for real. And she had like shifted management.
Right.
So her new manager was like, yo, what happened to, he's not the new manager, he been around, but he was like, what happened to Keanu?
Can't forget Keanu. This nigga, he got the heat. Like, what happened to son? Like,
and she was working on a new project. He was like, nah, we got to bring Keanu in here to work on this project.
Smart idea.
So we did the first record me and her did is on her album that came out on Empire. It's called Like Me. That was the first record we did in the studio.
Go check it out so you can see what you're talking about.
Video out and everything, yeah. And they was like, nah, like this is like a whole different sound, because she was kind of like in a certain bag.
Right.
And we just shifted the whole bag.
As a producer should.
Yeah. So it just started thinking like, all right, if we could do shit like this, we could probably do mad different type of shit. So we just like literally was sleeping in the studio till the sun came up.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Those be the vibes.
Niggas know.
You know, those be the vibes.
Niggas know.
And we knocked out the whole album in a couple months, and then she locked in a deal with Empire, and then we put that up.
Fire, man. Shout out Chinese Kitty and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing to see the women just doing their thing in this rap shit, you know what I mean? Doing their thing just in general. But when you see somebody, you know what I mean, just like putting in work to a point where they still, you know what I mean, staying true to the, you know what I mean, the art form that they, you know what I mean, put together and everything, and really continue. When you start seeing shit move and you start seeing more collabs, you start seeing like, you know what I mean, musically specifically, you know what I'm saying, like that's really dope and shit like that, because it's really a process and shit. And you know what I mean, it don't matter who the fuck you is, if you ain't, you know what I mean, moving right, if you ain't doing your shit right, if your sound ain't lit, it's only but so far you gonna exist in this motherfucker. That's a fact. And speaking of so far you gonna exist, for the motherfuckers that can't exist in this motherfucker, they gotta find other things to do to, you know what I mean, make money or whatever the case is. And salute to whatever you got going on. But as for you, what other ventures besides music? Obviously you already done successful things in music. Besides music, where your mind at as far as like different ventures and stuff? Like,
yeah, I'm always trying to figure out another play. Like right now we got the studio, Hit Mill Studios in Edgewater, New Jersey.
Okay.
I engineer there too, so if you want to book a session with me, you could book a session. You got to request me though, because we got a bunch of different engineers over there. You can come over there and record. We could do beats, and then also my boy, like, he getting into like a lot of different businesses, and he been putting me on, Alex. And he just got a laundromat. he was putting me on to the business behind laundromats and shit. We was about to get a gas station, but that deal fell through. But we still looking into other gas stations.
Fire.
And he was just putting me on to like the business behind it, and how to set it up to get residual income, you know, constantly.
Right.
So like I'm definitely always looking into other plays all the time, no matter what it is, for sure.
Nah, that's fire, bro, and I hope everybody else on that type of time, if you're not on that type of time by now, it's like, unless you dumb young, nigga, it's like, where your mind at? Because like we said earlier, so much information being passed around, like, you know what I mean, get your mind right, make money all types of ways. It's like, even, it was on some shit where I was thinking like, all right, boom, back then or whatever, you used to look to try to get a deal or whatever and shit, right? Or just try to get notoriety to a point where you're going to be able to lock some shit in, right?
Yeah.
And then over time, you just wanted to just play one role, be the artist, or be the producer, or be whatever, and then everybody will take care of everything for you. But obviously, over time, it came to a point where you got to do everything, which we all know. But when I was also thinking about it, I'm like, damn, like, when you think about shit, like, in life, like, things don't really, obviously, we know it, things don't happen the way you always picture it and shit, but things be structured in certain ways to where it's like, make shit make sense. Like, I'll say, okay, it's not a thing of wanting to get a deal now. It's important to be independent and shit, but it's like, or at least own your masters, or whatever the case is, no matter what it is and shit like that. Or even if you don't, as long as you get in the back and you got a idea of where you want to go and whatever, capitalize or whatever situation, then get out of it in the future. There's so many different ways to make it happen. But and I started talking so much into that direction, I forgot what I was trying to originally say. It's so lit that now it's like being in a position where you know, and I think I used the word being in a position so many fucking times already, right? But being in a space where you know, okay, I know this aspect of the business. I know this aspect of doing this. I know how to engineer my shit to make it. I know how to produce my shit to make it. I don't gotta you're not just being an artist now. It's put a lot of toll on you as an individual, but it's like the more, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is survival of the fittest. Like, the more, and the more, like, you know, the more that you build on all these things that you know, the better. Like,
I always felt like, it was taking me too long to get to where I wanted to get to, but like you said, watching all this shit over time, it helped me learn how to maneuver when the shit I want came, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, I'm starting to see like a lot of these artists who complain about their label, how they label did them dirty. I'm like, damn, like these labels be doing niggas dirty. Till I realized, y'all might need to take some accountability for some of the shit y'all be complaining about.
Definitely.
Like, y'all take the money, y'all don't know what type of deal y'all signing. Y'all don't realize that every car that y'all take, every hotel that y'all, every studio that y'all book, that shit is being invoiced to you, and it's coming out of your budget. Y'all not realizing the type of deals y'all sign, how much publishing you giving up. Y'all not realizing that just because you sign a deal, that don't mean you got to stop working. That means you got to work even harder.
Right.
That means, you know, a lot of things, like, they just think, all right, boom, I signed a deal, I can sit back and let all these niggas figure it out.
Right.
These niggas don't care about
you.
This is business, bro.
Nah, that's a fact.
And if you act like you don't know what the fuck going on, they gonna treat you like that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
shelf the fuck out you, nigga.
And all those things I've learned, like, coming up, wanting, I want a deal, I want this. Now I don't even care for a deal, bro.
Nah.
I want to stay independent as long as I possibly can. Now, as far as producer and songwriter, like, there's like publishing deals, and there are benefits to certain pub deals.
Right.
But it's like, even with that, like, you sign the wrong one, you kind of fucked too.
Exactly.
So you got to know exactly what you sign and what you doing. People just look at the money and think the shit over with.
I get the money now, I'll be straight later.
Yeah.
Sometimes the money right now means a price you got to pay at the end that you ain't really willing to pay.
What you giving up for that money?
Right.
That's what people not realizing.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I ain't going front too and shit. When I was getting to the bag just on some like street shit or whatever, nigga, I'm trying to focus on investing instead of buying a bunch of random shit, nigga. I'm trying to invest in my fucking studio, nigga. And you know what I'm saying? Now we here at the motherfucking playground making shit happen for the future. But it's like something small like that. Just having your own studio, like, just to invest. That'll take away from so many expenses. If something did come along and somebody like, yo, I want to, but if they thinking they gotta spend money on this for you, that for you and shit, then that's gonna come out your paycheck, like you said. Like, I say paycheck and shit, you know what the fuck I mean. But you know what I'm saying? But if you got your shit set up to where you could record your own shit, you could do whatever. But there's so many different aspects that I was just adding that into it. But you get what I'm saying and shit. Here we go again. Why does this keep popping up and shit?
And what everybody should do is, like, anybody who signed a deal, what y'all should do is take 20% of that, figure out how I'm going to live off that, how I'm going to continue to make music, and the rest, hire somebody to flip that shit, keep it going, put it in different places, because people think, all right, boom. Like, if you really think about it, if you sign like $100,000 deal, $500,000, that shit ain't nothing. It's gonna go, bro.
Yeah, that money, especially in this day and age, that money fly.
For sure. And then a lot of times what people don't realize with this music shit, if I do a hit record right now, bro, right now I just placed a hit record, I'm not seeing a dime for that for at least 9 months.
Right. Take time for that shit to accumulate,
for
right?
sure. And like people just be thinking like, nah, when you get that advance, that's supposed to last you for a little bit. If you dead broke and you sign a deal and you get an advance, you better be thinking of all the ways you can continue to make money off that shit.
Yeah.
It's a simple aspect of like niggas. Me personally, I stopped looking at money like money. I look at it as employees. If I got 100,000 employees, what am I going to do to put these motherfuckers to work so I can get more employees? But I'm thinking it's so small where, oh, I got $100,000. Now this is our license to go run it up. No.
Yeah.
If you got that, use that as, think of them little motherfucking people that's going to work, get you more money to move around. So it's like what you're saying is very, very important.
Word.
And so out of this whole process, you on your journey, what's some of like the downfalls of the process, aside from like losing people, you know what I mean, that you used to be cool with, whatever. Besides that, like what's some other like downfalls that you feel like you've been through that kind of changed your structure, perspective, molded you into who you are?
And the politics of this shit is nasty sometimes. Like when you really think about how shit operate, it's kind of like screen back up. When you kind of think of like how this shit operate, some people gotta play the game, right? But then some people choose not to play the game, and that's how they get blackballed, and that's how certain shit go. But some people choose not to play the game and they thrive off of it. So it really depends on like what you stand for and how you want to move. Right. But like, you know, it's a lot of things that come with it. Like, you know, you thinking people is your friends in this industry, and you know they just trying to use you for whatever they need from you or whatever. Right. And then also like, you know, people just, you gotta set your value for whatever you do, because it get real tricky. Cause at the end of the day, even though we having fun doing this shit, even though like this is like the life that we want to live, it's our job. So like when you go to work, you know, your boss don't be like, yo, what you doing on Saturday? You want to come in for free and just, you know, hang out with us and work? You gonna be like, the fuck is you talking about?
I'm gonna get someone to make something out of this. Am I going somewhere with this? Am I getting something from this?
This is my job. Like I don't come here for fun, but it gets tricky because we come there for fun. So it's like a blurred line, but you just gotta really have your business in order.
Nah, that's a fact. That's fire. So out of all the producers that they got, shit, from beginning to end, nigga, from beginning of hip hop to now, what's your top 2 producers?
Top 2?
I've been doing top 2s. I told myself I wasn't gonna do top 2 today.
I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't expecting 2. That shit just threw me off.
Right,
top
cool.
2.
I said, boom.
I'm gonna say Pharrell.
Okay. God, yeah.
I'm gonna say Pharrell, and then one of the newer people, I say probably Hitmaker.
Copy. Yeah, niggas be having.
I think you're gonna have to stretch that to 5 because the music game changes so much.
You know what?
People that's in, especially from when you started to now.
I said I ain't gonna do this 2 shit. So go ahead, give me one more. Give me 3 then. Give me 3.
All right.
One more. Besides yourself, because obviously
you gotta put yourself in there.
No, that's what American can shit.
One more. I'd probably say Southside.
Southside, copy. Yo, it's crazy. One day I was I went to South by Southwest, and I was and I ain't know how Southside look and shit like that. Obviously, I just knew of the beats and shit. But I was on we was at the Hilton and shit. I forgot what floor niggas on. We in the building. Our niggas was there. Walked in the hallway, saw son and all of that. He was just showing love and shit. He was like, "What's good?" Like, all right, boom, boom. Yeah, we out here, this and that. I'm like, "What's good?" You know what I mean? Show love, boom, boom. Then after the fact, I found out who he was, and so I'm like, "Oh, that was this nigga the whole time and shit." But that nigga do got heat though. So shout out,
and he kind of changed the game for producers for real. Like he set the trend for a lot of the way niggas make beats now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of one of the reasons why I pick him for sure. Yeah, and them 808s used to go, nigga, Future beats, all that. Man, niggas used to go crazy. So what about artists? Like, who's like your top artists? Like your top 3 artists that you fuck with? Besides Chinese Kitty, because obviously she's gonna be on the list. I feel like that list changes all the time. It be depending on how I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that. I'm glad you. Yeah, you know what? That's a good ass. That's a good response for that. That was verbalize exactly, because that's things that happens that nobody actually says.
You know, everybody be in different moods, different vibes. Like, I'm in this bag for these couple months. Now I'm in this bag.
Right.
But
Shit, I was in my Eric Sermon bag for a second and shit. I was just bumping that just like music. I'm like, this nigga my favorite artist this month. Fuck you talk about? Like,
That's
nah. Cool, man. Yo, me and this guy, you know what I'm saying? We got the...
You didn't even let me do my top 3 artists, nigga.
Oh, shit.
You dead ass
I'm
shot
sitting
them.
here thinking about my artists. I'm like, all right, we moving on. Fuck it.
I'm over here thinking about using the bathroom. I got to pee so bad, so I'm moving on to the next one. My fault, gang. My fault. Go ahead. What's your third? I mean, your favorite artist? Go ahead.
I don't even know, but right now I'll probably say Drake, of course. He always the GOAT.
That song Sticky, that he got.
That whole album hard to me. Niggas hating on it, but I fuck
shit.
with it.
I fuck with
I'm going out the country this weekend. I'm about to play that shit the whole time.
Bye. Like the blackballing shit, like people getting blackballed and shit. In this day and age, it's not really a such thing as blackball, because you could really, if you have a certain amount of fans, or if you create something, you can always post it. Now, you don't get me wrong, there is obviously levels to blackballing that, you know what I'm saying? You can't deny motherfuckers got money, niggas will fuck around. Anything they find out you putting out, and niggas gonna try to, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you could always still, you know what I'm saying? Like, find a way.
For the most part, blackballing is a way for people to use an excuse not to do shit.
To extort your stupid ass.
Yeah.
Word.
Like,
So it's like an excuse for laziness.
Not laziness, because I'm not saying...
I missed what you said. That's a fact, what you said.
But I'm not saying it's not probably harder for you because of whatever somebody did, but you ignoring the fact that there's another way.
Exactly.
And you're not willing to take that.
So you're right. That's like, that's the end all be all. You're not even trying to look for another way.
You're like, oh, they did this to me. Oh, they did. Nah, what you talking about? This is a whole world.
Shit happens to niggas every day. They find another. If they really want this shit, they gonna find another route.
That's a fact.
Sometimes things don't happen to you; they happen for you.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, we think about motherfuckers that got no legs. That's running track. Winning medals. Running track.
You seen the nigga with one arm playing basketball, dunking on niggas,
cooking niggas. Like, come on, there's no excuse.
Nasty,
what would happen if he said, "I can't play ball, I got one arm"?
Exactly.
He wouldn't be where he's at.
Exactly. Gave
Bro,
up.
I can't wait to fuck the metaverse. Like, niggas like him, I hope they come up with something where they can get him in the league. That he's doing this. He's playing better than some niggas with 2 arms. Like,
nah,
I'm not trying to be funny.
Nah,
that ass.
When I saw homie play, that shit, that really kind of made me hit myself. Like, nigga, you was complaining about your knee this entire time playing ball.
And
you
niggas
stopped.
out here.
You tore your knee up, but Derrick Rose still played. So now I understand what you're saying. It's not so much of the excuse. It's so much of, in my mind, I didn't make it not because of nothing I didn't do, not because of hard work that I didn't put in, but it's because, this happened to me.
Right.
And that
people don't like taking accountability, bro.
Nah.
True,
like I practice that. I exercise that daily, bro. Anytime something's bad is happening to me, I'm thinking, what did I do to cause that? Right. What can I do to prevent that?
Right.
What can I do to get around that? I don't be like, this person did this and this person did me dirty. How did I give you the opportunity to do me dirty?
Yeah,
that's what I be thinking about.
I like what you say.
You know
give
what I'm
you
saying?
the opportunity. Because now that puts us in position where it's like, anything that happens to you, you allowed it to happen.
Yeah, right.
With people, with anything, how you do anything is how you do everything. So, if you allowed this motherfucker to do this to you,
right? You
did that to you.
Right.
Now pay attention. Look at what you did. That's a lesson. Move forward and then change.
And when you moving, it's like it should come to a point. And it came to this point for me a minute ago and shit. Like when it's like, just move. When you moving, always expect the worst out of motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers automatically start off good. Once you start fucking up, it just go down and down. It's either you stay up.
Nobody.
Nah, not at all.
I think I put it like this. I tell motherfuckers, we had this conversation before too. I tell motherfuckers, like, I don't trust nobody.
Nah.
Because trust is not something that I can give. I have to trust myself around you based off of how you move in order for me to make a decision that's going to impact my life. So I can't give you trust. That's what people fuck up, and this is my opinion.
You got to earn that shit, right?
It's not even earned. Like,
nah,
I look at it like this. For example, let's say if we use, just for some reason, just
don't trust niggas at all.
Right?
That's
you
why.
trust yourself.
100%.
Like,
yeah.
If I know how you, for example, I know how you move because you show me consistently how you move. For example, you hold me accountable, and that's another thing. Be around people who's gonna hold you accountable.
That's a fact.
Like, you was working on a project and you hit me over there. I had to be like, yeah, nigga, you right. You was like, bro, so when are you going to work on the project and do this? I was like, damn, this nigga. Be with motherfuckers that's gonna tell you your breath stink and not just be like, you want some gum?
Right.
No, nigga, brush your teeth.
Right, type shit. That's
straightforward.
That's a fact, bro. And yeah, man. So my son done gave y'all some game and shit like that. Keanu in the fucking building. Continue to do what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been able to really get up with my guy on some regular shit. You know what I'm saying? And even when I met you, you know what I mean? It was like we vibed and shit like that. And I was telling him one day on the phone like, yeah, we got the, but we didn't really get to like. It was like a. It was weird because like niggas would be around each other all day, and then it came to a point where niggas wasn't really, you know what I mean, around and shit. But you know what I mean? I love to see all my brothers succeed, do what they do. You know what I'm saying? My son, he even put a little weight on him and said, so you know my son eating good, tell him stop playing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So continue to do what you do, bro, and I look forward to whatever else is coming out in the future. And I appreciate you for coming once again. And
thank you for having me.
I wanted to ask Keanu one question because there's a lot of young people out there who don't have the opportunity to have conversations with someone of your stature, you know what I'm saying, and creative ability. So moving forward, I know it's kind of an old question, but your advice, especially how things are now and what you've seen from then to now and how things are changing. Anybody who wants to be in a position of producer, what would be your number one thing before all else?
Good question.
See, I can't even do number one because I feel like it's like a maybe like a trifecta of like things.
Right. So basically, just a mode of operation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like a cookie cut, but it's a mode of operation of the steps.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like number one, you gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the work, 1,000,000 hours. Nobody's gonna hand nothing to you. You gotta put in the work. That's number one. Number two, like you gotta believe in your shit. Nobody's gonna believe in your shit if you don't believe in it. You know what I mean? A lot of it is networking. You gotta learn how to move. Like everything is not take. Sometimes you gotta give. You gotta make people want to help you. Like when people see you working, they want to help you. When you always deliver, you always show up for niggas, they want to help you. When you a good person and they feel like, oh, that's a good nigga, they want to help you. Like you can't just be walking around expecting niggas to do shit for you.
Right.
And you gotta always be prepared. Like you don't want to find yourself in the studio with Future and he say play some beats and you don't got nothing on your computer, nothing on your phone,
right.
Or all your shit trash because you didn't put in them hours.
Right.
It's like a whole bunch of things. Everything gotta come into place. Everything gotta work together for it to start working out. You know what I mean?
So what I took from what you said is accountability,
believe in yourself,
consistency,
and believe in yourself,
and being righteous with yourself.
Yeah.
Because
and networking.
Right, and networking. Right. So being righteous with yourself is more or less just being honest with yourself and holding yourself accountable. Like listening to something, say, you know what, this shit don't sound right.
I don't think every beat I make is fire. I'll be making beats sometimes like this shit is garbage.
I was about to ask you.
And then the next nigga might think it's shit heat too.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But nah, that's a fact though.
You gotta be honest.
It's even with songs that you be listening, play it back, let somebody hear it, you ain't get the best reaction. You're like, ooh, I ain't get the reaction I wanted. Why the fuck you over here sneezing while my shit playing? Don't blow your nose, nigga. You gotta stay straight and listen to my shit the whole way through. Nah, but you know what I'm saying? Once again, man, that was a good question, Nation. I'm glad you was able to give the producers that information. And that actually applies to pretty much everything. You know what I'm saying? It's life. But once again, thank you, bro. And we at the motherfucking playground, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Keanu.
Love.